Hey everyone, it's Chris here, and I am here with my friend Mike, and we're on a roof doing a roof inspection. Hey everyone, Chris Waipa here. I have a new friend with me this week. So this is my friend Mike. We get exciting stuff in store for today. We're going to do a video tour with Mike. He is going to show us everything you want to know about doing a roof inspection for a residential property. Correct?
Correct, 100%.
So Mike, a couple questions before we start. Number one, do you have to have a license to be a roof inspector?
Not a roof inspector, but to pull a permit to do either repairs or replace the roof, you do have to have a brick and mortar in the state of Kansas and also the licensing for it.
Got it. So, but to just look at it and say, yep, this roof is shot, you don't have to have a license for that.
That is correct. It's unwise to use that person, but that's correct.
It's like if someone was working with a roof inspector in, let's say, New York, what would they be looking for?
Well, you can ask for their license number, or most states actually have a database that you can go look up on whatever government you're in, state or county, and then they'll have listed the name and licensing number of the agency, and also if any complaints have been lodged against them.
So is there an actual license requirement for roofing, just for looking at roofs, or is it more of a general contractor's license so that you can do what a contractor would do to repair a roof?
They have a specific one for roofing that you can do.
Okay.
That way you don't have to carry all the licensing that a GC does.
Okay.
A GC can do a roof.
All right, so next question, what's in your tool belt?
Pretty much a lot of years of looking at roofs. And it's going up, being able to recognize what the difference is between checking, blistering, nail pops in compared to hail. Also recognizing what's old hail and what's new hail. And then, you know, wear and tear from footfall, people getting on the roofs, or trees rubbing on it. And then you get shading patterns from mature trees in the yard. So it's just a lot of experience.
All right, cool. Here we go. We're gonna take off, and Mike is probably gonna go get his ladder. We're gonna go look at this house and get on the roof. What brought about the call from this particular homeowner to have you come out and do a roof inspection?
They found shingles in their front yard.
Got it. Okay. That's very simple.
Looks like we've got multiple layers too. So certain insurance companies, if you've got more than one layer, they're not going to insure it. Most counties have that rule now too.
What's the benefit? Who's the benefit for?
If you're in a pinch for money, not having the tear off and just going on top with a new layer of shingles will save you some on labor.
Got it.
Downsize, it heats up the roof a bit more. You can't detect leaks nearly as easy, so you can lead into more rot issues that you don't know. Now, the insurance company for claims, most of them, if you have a decent insurance agent, will pay to have all the layers removed and go back with fresh decking. Because when you pull off, you want to be sure that you're inspecting the decking and any rot issues are fixed right then and there while it's all off.
Now, Mike is not claiming to know all the ins and outs of every insurance company, but I think you'll hear him talk a little bit in generalities pertaining to insurance companies, because a lot of people put new roofs on their home through an insurance company.
So obviously we got more tabs that are blown off. I try and flip them down just so we can cover these nails, and that way we don't have an active leak while we're up here. The roof's got some age to it. So this right here, where you can see the very edge, and this is the edge of the fiberglass that's showing out there. It's called delamination. It's when we're losing the grit, and it's happening on every single tab. Now this is where it's deemed as homeowner maintenance, and it's not an insurance thing. So it's just saying that this roof, which is a 25-year 3-tab shingle, is starting to reach the end of its life.
Really?
Yep. And you also see here that we've got some unnatural wear. You see it's the same repeating pattern. So my guess is that was bad installation or it was a bad issue from the manufacturer, but that's that fiberglass that you can see there, real shiny. But at least us with Diamond, we're very particular with our shingles. If we notice that the bundle itself is stuck together and they're hard to peel off, you ever try and use tape twice?
Right.
Okay, that's exactly
what it does, huh?
So yeah, if you ever see a roofer with his toe on the bundle and he's pulling the shingles, it should be a different bundle. We've done that before where we've had to stop work for that minute and go get a bunch more shingles because it was a bad run. And then you can also see these cracks right here on the very top of the ridge. Okay, so shingles like to lay flat, they don't like to be bent. So this is where you typically have your leak points.
Mike has very good common sense, like wisdom, when it comes to his business. Very trustworthy guy.
You can see we've been through a couple storms. These are about as thick as a pop can. So these small little ones are stuff that's, you know, roughly the size of your thumb. That's not going to do any damage to the roof itself. Yeah. So when you're looking at your roof either from the ground or, you know, somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, this does not make a total roof. Looks like we have just the very edge of one hail hit here. For the state of Kansas, you need 7 hits per square, which is a 10 by 10 per directional slope, northeast, southwest, and that's a total roof.
What is this here?
That's a W profile valley. And then I prefer to do the metal valleys. They come in a bunch of different colors.
Okay.
But it's better than doing...
This one comes in brown spots.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's a little bit of rust.
Do you have to do anything with that?
No, it's not hurting anything. It's just showing its age. I mean, if it's actually starting to rust through, which I have actually not ever seen before, then yeah, we can make an issue with that. We've got an issue of how they installed this hood here. Just coming up through here, this is the other thing I look for. We got to nail through the shingle.
So anytime you see the nails, those have to be sealed because water can get through them.
Yep.
And nails should never be showing.
I think we've got some lifting from the winds. You can see the shingles lifted up a little bit here. And so that little bump right there is that nail working itself back through the shingle. So what we would do on a maintenance or an inspection is we go ahead and nail that back flat and then put some silicone on it. But all you're doing is extending the life. Since this roof is not a total and it's about midlife right now, it's just breathing some life into it so it lasts a little bit longer and we don't have any leaks. We also got some lifted shingles on the ridge in the valley there. So you guys see how far that nail's popped up? And we've got grit underneath, so we know that water's going into the house. They just don't know it yet.
I see.
But yeah, it would be reworking this area and tamping it all back down.
So you just have some, basically on this roof, at this point, you have patch and repair work.
Yes.
And then notifying the homeowner of the age of the roof and setting them up for the future.
Yep, do a maintenance package and get all this tamped down and siliconed up. It shouldn't be too expensive. And then tell them, hey, you know, next time there's a storm, we'll do another inspection and see if we can get enough hail to total it out.
Gotcha. What's next? Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Okay, so here's another question for you. How hard is it to match the color of the roof?
So I can normally tell you what color it is, or I can bring it to a supplier, or there's a third party that we can do to ITEL, and they'll actually tell me the manufacturer and when it was made. What I can't do is match sun fade. It takes a couple of years and then it matches out.
A couple more questions for you, Mike. What would you advise a homeowner to do when people start knocking on their doors and telling them they can replace their roof, basically trying to sell them a new roof because a storm just blew through, and they're not even from our town, probably?
So a couple of things when you have the chasers come out. Kansas passed a law several years ago that says you have to have a brick and mortar to pull a permit in the state of Kansas, which is good. You make sure that the fly-by-nights stay out, or at least makes it more difficult. If they are out of state and they have an office here, great. Every roofing company, anybody that's knocking the doors for roofing or siding or windows, anything, should already have a permit pulled in on their person if that city requires it when they knock that door. So you can always request that. And then their license number. They should already have a roofing license number that you can ask, or they can get a hold of it. It should be on their business card, should be on their paperwork as well. And it said that they've gone through all the hoops that the government makes them do so that it can be a fully functioning business.
Would you say that there are a lot of roofing companies out there that come out of the woodworks after a storm that are obviously interested in selling a new roof, and maybe it doesn't need that?
Well, and that's the other deal. You want somebody that actually knows what they're looking at. When you have a roofing contractor that says everything's totaled, it just makes homeowners upset with their insurance company because the roofer's telling them one thing and the insurance company's saying the other. If you have somebody that's been in business for a while, knows what they're looking at, they should be able to tell you what the difference between checking and blistering is compared to an actual hail hit. Other dead ringers, if they come to your door and they haven't seen your roof yet, they don't know what your claim amount is yet, and they also don't know what your deductible is, but they tell you, hey, I can go ahead and cover your deductible.
But they don't know what it is.
Correct, but it's also committing insurance fraud.
Next question here, can you tell us a little bit about Class 4 hail?
Well, it's a Class 4 shingle, and it's an impact rated shingle. And the shingle has to be thick enough or have enough fiberglass mesh to withstand an impact from a steel ball, and also be a wind rating over 115 miles an hour. The reason why insurance companies like it is because the hailstorms that we get every single year won't total it out every couple of years. They usually have a lifetime of anywhere from 40 to a lifetime warranty on them.
For our viewers, where would they go to look and back check whether or not the shingles that they're buying are?
The insurance company should be able to provide you a list because certain ones only accept certain companies.
Got it. Awesome. All right, I think we're good on this wonderful sunny day. We had a little breeze here in Kansas, no tornadoes, those are gone. And I think we're done. We're gonna go down to Mike's other tool, his ladder, and we're gonna climb down backwards with a camera. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, follow me. We're gonna just dive into everything related to financing real estate. So catch you soon. Bye.